Cik Faizal dengar dengar. So Mio pun dah nak ambil tu. Ah, okay, jap.
Thank you very much again, Nazim, for this session. Bye. Alright, now, student, we have come to the end of the session for sharing for students. After this, we'll be having some academic briefing,
So take a mute.
right, by two departments. Basically, they are the same department, the Center for Computer Information Science, right? They are from the same department. But our gentlemen will be talking about two different program of studies. This one, computer technology, about IT, right? Second one, about systems, right? After this, once I said that you can break, what you will do, please click on the top right here, on the top left here, right, back to highlight, okay, and you can choose whether you want to go here or listen to session academic review by information technology. We'll be having our TS.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. and very good morning.
I'm still waiting for the speakers.
We shall wait for, I think, for 1 minute for waiting for other audience to come and join our session. So we will start around 1 minute. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. I do hope all of you are in the best of condition now.
Okay. Again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Good morning to all. I hope all students and all audience are in a good situation. So before we start, we will start our session. This is the session for academic department and faculties under the information technology. Okay, before we start, can you guys hear me? Boleh dengar saya? Boleh raise hand? Kalau boleh dekat raise hand tu.
Just ask anything that you need to know about information system.
Okay, saya harap semuanya jelas ya. Loud and clear. Alright, terima kasih. Okay, before that, again, I would like to refresh. We will start this session with a presentation by from our academician, and then let's say we will start the session with the presentation first. After the session, we will going to have a short Q&A session. And for student, sekiranya ada punya soalan, any question, please utilize the discussion forum or live Q&A button tools there below there. Okay. Right. Without further ado, I would like to invite TS Faizal Ahmad Fazil from the Information Technology Department for the Computer Information Science Department to share the information on information technology. So all audience, please grab this opportunity to know more about information technology and to ask any question, any related matters, any burning question that we would like to ask with our presenter. So without further ado, I would like to invite TS Faizal. Okay.
Um, my name is Faizal Ahmad Fazil, TS Ahmad Fazil. TS means technology specialist lah kat sini. So whenever you actually study in IT or IS or computer science, basically you boleh jadi you can be a technology specialist. Okay. So today, basically, I will explain to you. It's not how actually how you want to study. What is the procedure to actually enter UTP? That actually have been covered by my colleague here. So I will explain to you that what actually that we have right now in UTP for IT. So we have these computer and information sciences departments, which handle three programs, which is mainly IT, IT, IS, and computer science. Okay, before that, okay, my name you can see here is my profile. Okay, I've been actually take my study in UUM in IT, and I pursue my study in master in Manchester, UK on the multimedia technologies. So there's a lot actually. Before I come and actually work in UTP, I also work with Nokia. I also work with Acer Computer Sales and also some of the programmer in Pelda. Okay. So this is a if you join UTP, you study UTP, you might meet me and study on this. I'm teaching on this area as well. But there's a lot of research actually that actually I'm working on. Okay, so the main thing for you to come actually to want to know, for you want to choose IT, why IT? Okay, this basically this is a slide actually you can check in our websites. Okay, there's a lot actually in the websites, but I'm not going to explain that. So, what is IT? So a lot of people basically you know think IT, you know, things that when using Microsoft Office, this is IT. IT is something that quite common. 20 years ago, IT something that people use computer, but basically IT is different. Okay, you need to change your mindsets. It's not designing websites. It's not IT means you have problem that you call help desk call center, and then this IT actually fix cables or whatever it is and repair computers. Those are thing in the past. Okay, so it's not like this. It's super different. Okay, you can see here it's not that you maybe you work in that area, but not that it's not fully the fully meaning of information technology. So you can see here, information technology is actually the you know the bridge between the computer science and IS. So IT basically involve communications. It also handles actually how actually you key into database and how actually you secure your system you install, and there's a lot of application actually linked with the devices like sensors. So the technology, how actually you gather informations, that's why they call it information technology. Compared to IS, it's actually more to on the saving part. Means whatever you do, you need to keep record. So you have to have IS, and then the difference between computer science actually is more on theoretical. So I will look more into the information technology. Okay, you see here, um, the, the 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 technology have changed, from the first revolutionary, second industrial revolution, third revolution, and now we are actually at the fourth industrial revolutions. So a lot of people not know about this and how actually technology changes. It is because of when people grow, when there's a lot of people in the world, so their resources it becomes very scarce. We don't have very limited resources, so you need to be prepare, and you need to plan well. That's why the industry actually changes. 100 years ago, actually water and steam, and right now we have the cyber physical systems. So those are basically there's a lot of IT actually involved in this part. Okay, those are the information basically that have been shared and to error or decision making basically based on the information that's given. So we have this when you have a lot of data, I don't know how many people actually key in reply message in WhatsApp, or key in searching data in Google, or key in something in the YouTube. There's a lot of data basically stored. So whatever you type, anything basically. Okay, okay. Dengar tak saya cakap ni? I try to increase. To increase the sounds here, maybe. Okay. Okay. I hope you can hear this. Okay. We can ask questions after this. Okay. So this is actually when you think about big data. So not many people actually know about big data, but if you study in IT, you'll be able actually to hands-on on this. There's a lot of data in the world. You type something in the Google, you type like hotel in Japan, and then somehow the next morning, when you open the Google, try to see something, there is an advertisement saying about vacation in Japan, hotel in Japan. There's a lot advertisement comes. Basically, these are actually the data that actually been shared with any company basically that they want to promote their product. So there's a lot of data, big data in the world basically that they will be processed, but we are not using all the data that being saved. So you need to actually understand how the information technology can help retrieve this data and share with others. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, there's a lot of applications that you have in the world. There's a lot of data, and then how actually you match, who actually needed the data and who actually can give the data. So demand and supply and demand basically is the thing that the IT actually try to connect those both world. Okay, so you can see here there's a picture of marvels there. Okay, this actually Iron Man. If you watch Iron Man, you can see there's a lot of IT actually system actually stored there, as well as in the IS. Okay, so we call it robotic and wearable device. So how actually you control the devices, you know. You create a device, you must make sure that the device actually work as what you wanted. Okay, so there's a lot of programming there. You can see here artificial intelligence. So because of we have this data, so this data can actually you can use the data to give to a machine to learn about the data, to become informations, and the machine that can do their own decisions making. So there's a lot of things that they need, you need to go through first before you understand how AI actually is working. So the combinations of IT to enable this actually is quite substantial. So, okay, so you can see here there's a lot of data stored here. You know, then how actually all the components there, the sensor, you have to work with also with department EE. So we have electrical department UTP, and then you have to work with them as well if you want to, you know, to create such robots like this. Okay, so this actually you can, you know, through in YouTube you can see what is who is Sophia, how actually it works. Okay, that's all the things that actually you learn. Okay, okay, then these are something that IT people are actually doing right now. There's a lot Internet of Things. Okay, Internet of Things. So you can make sure that your phone is actually Internet of Things, that you can monitor and detect. If you want to have your, you know, your toothbrush to be able to be detected by the internet, also you can do. So Internet of Things is something that you can monitor remotely, and then based on the data that you receive, actually you can make decisions. Okay, okay, so but those are very connected, you know, Internet of Things. Examples like, you know, a coffee shops, you know, they have the sensors that telling the shops how many cups actually being sold, and what is the flavor of the month, uh, what are the coffee actually being bought by the customer. So you need to learn, you in this IT department, our courses actually explain to you and help you to manage the Internet of Things, the programming part, the census part, and how actually uh, you'll be able to do that. Okay, this is very important for your career. So we have here as well, we have data analytic. Okay, something that actually link with the big data, because some company basically require a certain informations, and you have to be able to, you know, analyze and extract the informations. So the skills of programming, the skills of, you know, understanding the problems and the solutions is really you actually you will learn on this courses, okay, in the IT. So these are data analysts and data engineer that actually work. Some of the examples. Okay. So in basically we want to make decisions. So your boss to make decisions. So if you can see from the raw data, you can actually, you know, convert into some informations. This information basically telling us something about future. So so if you know, actually you can predict the future. At least you can predict the future. You can plan your work, and actually you can actually see what is going actually to happen in future based on the historical data like this. Okay, so here you can see data analyst and data engineer, the work of data engineer. Hello. You know, this is, basically you will ask me, what is actually the, you know, work in future. So this is kind of salary that you have for the fresh graduates. Data scientists, we have data scientists. You know, if you want to work on this as well, um, it depends on you. You understand how IT works, and you can actually you can be the data scientist as well. Okay, this is actually the basic salaries that you can get. Okay, security. So IT basically, if you have some, you have, you know, you store information. You know, you have Maybank card, or you have a CIMB, you have banking and data. So you make sure the security is super important here. Otherwise, you know, you get the problems. Okay, so you will learn about security in IT, one of the very important components. So you learn how cryptography work. You can see how actually when you design something, you need to include the security parts. Okay, security basically in need right now. There's a lot of actually works actually for the IT and security. Okay, there's a lot. Okay, um, you can see some of the pictures here. You know, somehow in future maybe a robot also have to actually queue to get your job. Okay, look at this in 16 November to 2018. You can see you know, the computer is still in demand. 16 November, and then you can see in 2019 still we have that. There's a lot of works in IT, and the latest that I get actually 22 March 2021, you still get the, you know, we have a lot of works in IT. So there's not a problems on that because people actually really need the IT. You can see in during the MCO or PKP, you know, the IT people basically help a lot on, you know, do the, you know, create a system that people can deliver foods. You know, you can, you know, we have Shopee. You know, Shopee basically developed by the IT specialists, and we together work with IS and also as a, you know, work with the computer science as well. So how actually all these online transactions actually happens because of the security, because of, you know, the trust that actually given. So without IT, basically, there's a lot of things will not even work. Yeah? You have a job in finance, you have healthcare, education, engineering, manufacturing. There's no place that they don't use IT. They have to use IT on all these, you know, all these jobs as well. So that's why IT is actually in demand, and it becomes a more a demand in future. You can see this actually when you know, grow up. This actually the ICT, IT lah, versus non-ICT sector. You can see the difference between IT and non-IT. You know, they're actually competitive, and some basically I show here is a bit more. Okay. Okay. So these are basically things are actually when we do the explanation to the people, to the students that want to study in IT, that the parents actually ask about this. So hopefully you can see the, you know, the chances to get a job is actually big. Okay. So we have this, you know, if you learn IT in UTP, we actually give you, you know, some sort of training for you to do, you know, something on technopreneurs. We have technopreneurship, we have MPO4. Student will learn to do business. You know, I encourage students actually to create your own company and become your CEO, and you know, feel find a need, feel a need. You see, you can see a need, you feel a need. Okay, you see something, the opportunity, and then you work out to get the opportunity. Actually, you select the opportunity, and, you know, become your own business. Okay, so we have there's a lot of our students basically open up their own company. Okay, so there's a lot that we can we have application UTP Tumpang. You have this application. You will be able to develop this kind of applications when you choose IT UTP. Okay, so there's a lot of people actually. There's a lot of people actually work together, and you find a new friends here. Not Malaysians only, internationally. Okay, and then you can actually get, there's a lot of venture capitalists waiting for the IT students and have new ideas. They provide some sort of you know uh, uh, grant or whatever, and they will try to venture invest in your ideas. So in future there's a lot of new problems and there's a lot of new solutions. So don't worry about this. If you understand the problems, you can actually provide solutions. And this is actually the skill that actually we teach our students in UTP. Okay, so there may be a lot. I don't have a lot of time basically to explain the things. So I hope I can actually answer some of your questions here. CIS actually offer this BIS, BIT, and also computer science. Okay, so you will learn about these four things basically. Each of IS, IT, and computer science, you will learn about data analytics, cybersecurity, enterprise system, and software quality. So those are basically that you will learn the core. Okay, but you need to choose which one actually you want to specialize. But you will learn basic things because data analytics also need to know about security, enterprise system, as well as software quality. If enterprise systems you want to measure in that, you also need to know all the other part, because those are basically important, okay, as for you as an IT graduates. So qualifications, everything will actually explained by our colleague. I think you already know. We have our lab here. We have data analytic intelligence lab. We have high performance computing. You can learn about how actually you can process data in cloud. You have the usability software testing. You know, there's a lot of software you develop. How easy actually your software can be actually used by others. So you have these usability labs, and we have this AR or VR, so you can test your augmented reality. You program in that, and how actually you will solve a lot of problems in future. Because I think in the future there's a lot of people actually work together remotely, and you can show samples, you can solve problems using combinations of augmented reality and the actual physical world. Okay. So you have this data communications. You will learn about networking. We have this spectrum analyzer. You learn about signals. You need to know as well. Those are basically data communication. It's not some. It's different from the EE where they learn about RF signal. Here we actually understand how actually data can be input and sent over to other parts of the world. What is the protocol, and how actually the wire and wireless actually difference. Okay, how data actually reach, and you will learn how actually to reduce the error. So there's a lot of company that actually provide the assistance like Cisco, Swash, Agent Technology will help you to understand and data communications. Okay, we have wireless communication lab. Okay, there's a lot about wireless. You already know how actually Bluetooth to connect to your phones, your earphone Bluetooth. But now you learn how actually you can actually monitor something remotely using the wireless communications. Okay, you will learn about that as well. These are basically that thing. When you learn the IT, you actually have to undergo internship for about 7 months. So these are the company actually willing to take our students. You can actually work in this company for 7 months, and then who knows, after that they really want to take you afterwards, because there's a lot of actually our students actually hired by this company, big company, when they have these longer internships there. So they will already know how your capability, and you get the experience there. So there is no problems about the how which company you want to work. You can actually work in overseas, or in Malaysia as well. So if you want to study IT computer, tinggi TP, choose IT. Okay. So I think that is actually for the slides. Okay. Okay. Any questions?
Okay.
So any questions? Can try to look at the live Q&A.
Okay, we are now at the Q&A session.
Kat sini sekejap.
If you guys have any questions, sekiranya ada apa soalan nak tanya mengenai IT, berbeza contohnya IT, information technology, information system,
Nak
boleh tanya.
cakap Melayu pun tak apa.
Melayu pun boleh.
Baca Melayu pun tak apa.
Okay, ada kita satu soalan
Bahasa
TS
lain.
Faizal daripada Cik Ahmad Zairil dekat live Q&A tu.
Yeah.
What's the different data analytics and enterprise system?
Oh, what's the different data analytics and enterprise systems? Okay, enterprise system dia sebenarnya dulu kita panggil macam organization system lah. So enterprise system basically untuk company, they have macam mas, macam di Asia, macam company yang besar-besar. Dia gunakan satu sistem yang besar untuk control resources dan staff dia. Okay. Jadi data analitik ni mungkin company akan guna daripada enterprise system dia orang ni. Dia ada terkumpul datanya, dia dah simpan. Dia dah simpan data tu. So macam mana dia nak extract data tu, dia mesti ada satu formula untuk dia extract data yang penting untuk management. Biasanya boss atau management nak lihat the performance of the company. Okay. Ada yang macam mas, dia nak tahu okay, how many booking information actually for the flights this year. And so kita boleh lihat bagaimana data analytic will help in terms